So this is a Sanda tutorial that I saw in Chinese social media, and there is no record of this on American social media. So wanted to show you guys some of this, and maybe there's some moves in here that you could bring into your own combat sports journey, your own striking. And I was showing this to Xavier Santana yesterday, and I got inspired. So just a classic pullback 1-2, right? Don't like how he drops his hands a little, but maybe it's a feint, right? Because there's throws in Sanda. He's like, oh, I'm going to throw you. But so yeah, classic, right? This is just standard boxing. Interesting how he lifts his leg up to kind of give himself a little bit more of a initiative going forward, right? So this is cool. Look at that angle. So 2 to the body, right? A cross to the body, and then a jab to the face. So little cool angle to try out. So maybe his hands, the other hand doesn't protect his face as well as it should. But so just look for the idea. Don't completely copy every detail about the technique, right? Everyone moves different, but every person you face is different too. So this is just, you're parrying his punches, and then you return with a lead roundhouse. No, it's with your dominant leg. But notice he lands and he switches stances, right? See, look at that. Now his right leg's forward. So happens a lot in Chinese martial arts. Some of them are very one-side focused, but some of them are more ambidextrous. So, of course, when you practice, right, make sure your hands return back to your regular fighting position. Don't kind of just let it go like this. But still, it's really cool. Right? Don't just think hands, right? That's the lesson to this one. This one, a double leg, but it's different than a wrestler double leg because in Sanda, you don't want your knees touching the ground, right? You want to be completely standing when you throw them. So you see this here. I think Sanda people would be really good at deadlifts and, anything like that, any variation of a deadlift. So they'll naturally either have back problems when they're older, or if they're really strong, they do it correctly, they won't have back problems ever. So Sanda double leg. Notice he's doing it in gloves, right? That's always so impressive to me. So this is another example, but he's doing 2 hooks, right? He's doing a lead hook and then a rear hook, you see. So love the backdrop, by the way, right? The backdrop is so epic. Look at that. And again, he pulls back a little bit. He's kind of really, really showing that he's pulling back, right? But maybe you don't have to pull back that much. You can be a little bit more subtle in how you pull back when he launches. So, oh, this is cool. So you hit to the body, to the face, right? So there's a head movement too. There's like a duck under head movement, right? So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, again, you see where the boxing influence comes, right? Like most of the punches from Sanda are from boxing. Obviously, because they're wearing gloves, right? So a lot of maybe your other karate, kung fu strikes, you're probably not going to be able to use them as well. So you got to use what works with these types of gloves, which is boxing. This is cool. I just directly jam them, and notice the right leg, right? Right leg goes behind the, the right leg of the opponent. So it's right. Just remember that. So he's also putting a glove on the bicep, right? He's putting glove on the bicep, and the other glove pushes the shoulder. So, yeah, I love this. So I don't even need to slow this down, right? Because they've slowed it down for us. So he's defending against uppercuts and then tripping him. Look at that. So he's left to left. So his left ankle, left leg, see, goes behind, sweeps the left ankle of the opponent. Notice the hands, right? His left hand goes to the kind of the head, sort of almost like collar tie. See, he collar ties a little bit. So that's so cool. Left. He keeps his right arm open. Maybe his right arm could protect his face a little. But, there's like a swinging torque motion with the right arm too. Maybe it helps him throw better. You see that? And then this is countering a side kick with almost like a switch kick, right? Yeah, kind of like a switch kick. Yeah, like a switch kick. That's really cool. Now, Sanda kicks tend to be more whip-like. The roundhouse kicks that are. So maybe you could pull it off. It's a little harder if you throw Muay Thai kicks, but, not to say it can't be done. So, but really cool. So, okay, this is checking the kick and coming in with a 1-2. So actually, it's like a 3, right? Checking the kick, coming in with 2 hooks. So, but you could, of course, come in with other punches too. But yeah, it makes sense. If you're jamming and then moving forward, you're more in hook range than like straight punch range, right? So that's why he's doing hooks. So cool, guys. Sometimes, why watch katas and pumsa and forms, taolu, when you can watch stuff like this? Like, these are much more concrete ideas to try in fighting sports. So let's just catch the leg, right? You get this in Muay Thai too, although, are you allowed to? I don't think you're allowed to do that in Muay Thai. Maybe, I don't know. But I learned similar stuff when I was doing Kung Fu as a kid. So, but yeah, he's just the inside of the knee / the calf area, right? That area is not too strong when you already got one leg in the air. So I think, of course, the hard part is catching that leg, right? But so just remember this, the catching the leg part isn't as easy. So this is, remember I always talk about how the Sanda side kicks quicker than a push kick, right? This is an example. So notice, right? One of the things about this kick is you got to bait him to overextend a little. Your side kick's longer than his push kick, right? So you have to bait him to overextend a little, and then you can really pull this off. So that's something I noticed immediately. But still, the side kick, especially, you can kick at their face too. I saw people side kick your face. So yeah, this is okay. I'm going to spin. This one, Coach Paris, who you've seen on my channel, can pull this off, but this one takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of timing. You got to have a lot of accuracy too. It's not just timing. So this one, I probably won't try. I mean, I might try just to be funny, but this is not something I can do in a pinch. So Sifu Sergio Perez, shout out Sergio. He can do this too. Practical combatico. Yeah. Sergio Perez definitely can do this too. In fact, there was a fight. He asked me not to show it because the guy was a little embarrassed, but he knocked the guy out with this. So here is Sanda interceptions. Notice he's attacking almost the same time that they are attacking, right? So a lot of timing, a lot of distance management, but this is really cool. So it's all an illustration of how I can get there before he gets there. Look at that. A jab, right? Jab. My jab's going to reach you before your 2-punch. So that's a standard one, right? Of course, guys, remember, this probably works better if the person's the same size as you. If he's bigger, of course, you got to make preparations, right? But very standard stuff that you learn just from sparring. What punches will reach them before. Dude, if you ever spar a tall guy who knows what he's doing, he's just going to keep jabbing you. It's hilarious. Body jab, right? So head off center line, body jab. Yeah, pretty standard boxing. So again, you see the boxing influence on Sanda, right? And that's why I love Sanda. Look at that. You could potentially do a 2 to the body. So notice the opponent's doing a hook, right? Opponent's doing a hook to the face. It's a slightly different mechanism than a boxing hook. Like, he's almost hitting with a different part of the face. This is cool. This is like an overhand. Look at that. Head off center line overhand. Or you could say it's a hook. It's like an overhand. I'll call it an overhand. So this involves a stepping in motion, right? So head movement's very important. So this is a hook to the body, right? So back in the day, before they called it Gouquan, they called it Guanquan. So notice how they hit, right? So look at that. Uppercut to the body. So again, head off center line uppercut. Right? Lead uppercut. So this requires a little bit of courage to fight in the pocket, right? So this one, let me sidekick you before he has the chance to reach me with whatever kick he was launching, right? So this just requires you to get really good at the sidekick, which Sanda people are amazing at. So shout out Matthew Lee too. Matthew Lee and Xavier Santana watched this with me. Some of this, right? I didn't get to translate this as thoroughly as I'm doing now, but they sort of gave me the inspiration. So that was a push kick to reach him. Yeah, this again, be a little careful. You spin kick him before his kick reaches you, right? I think if you're a taller guy, this will definitely work. But yeah, notice this is a teaser for some of the other stuff in this series. So the way we're watching this from the end to the beginning, which is kind of cool, right? It's not really the way it's supposed to be watched, but it's okay because most of my viewers who know a Sanda will probably not be complete amateurs in martial arts. So it looks like we're going to look at maybe some combos in this. Let's see. No, this is a little bit of the same. So these aren't more in-depth kind of moves that we were looking at before, unless this is just the beginning. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Okay, yeah. So that was just a preview. Okay, let's see. That's a body jab right there. That's a jab to the face, jab to the body. Side kick to the thighs. So look at that. So yeah, these are just little punch combos, kick combos, and kick and throw combos. So punch, jab. So maybe a little bit. There's no slow motion like some of the previous clips we saw, but look at that. Nice. I love that one. Kick to the face and then kick to the leg. So yeah, this one exactly. So push kick to a roundhouse kick. Notice he always lands his kick forward. So this Sanda trainer is very comfortable fighting from both ends as in both legs forward, both stances, I guess is the right way to say it. So 1, 2. Oh, there you go. That's a longer combo I want to see. Dude, I love that. That was a really cool. That's almost like a Vingachiva in Capoeira, right? But it's the same mechanism. You basically trap his legs from going back, and then you use your upper body to make him fall. So look at that. That is so cool. So yeah, that's my favorite combo. That's maybe my second favorite combo, just because there's a longer than 1 or 2 or 3 move sequence right there. Yeah, so it looks like this one. Okay. Look at that. Dude, that right there was almost like a gazelle punch right there. Oh, we got spinning back fists. Okay, more double legs. Dude, how cool is this? Oh, like, yeah. Dude, this gazelle punch thing was something that's been in the Sanda regimen / curriculum since like the 90s. This is definitely a 90s video, man. Look at that. That's like a gazelle punch right there. So, I love the spinning back fist. So it looks like this might be on repeat, or is this different? I think it's different. He sort of evaded the kick. Oh, more checking. So, all right, more boxing combos. Notice there is some blocking action too now. Interesting. They don't recommend you block too much, right? But oh, that was cool. Yeah, so much of why martial arts is so cool is you use your body's natural torquing motions, your body's natural movement, and you make it work in a way where you can defend yourself or hurt people if needed, right? So This reminds me of when we were watching the Systema video, remember? And we're just laughing at it. This is like actually good. So we will watch a little bit of what Xavier and Matthew and I watched. So these are some fundamental defensive moves that he was teaching. So that was a little bit of a parry. So this is one of the ways to catch the leg. Notice there's crook of the elbow scooping motion plus your other hand, right, to steady. So this is a two-handed catch. Sanda is known for you could do that with one of your arms, but I think it requires a different distance management and different accuracy. But it's cool to see this in slow motion. Look at that. So again, it's the crook of the elbow. You're naturally turning, right? You're turning to make your upper body available to catch that kick. So it's like it should be once you do it a few times, it should feel natural, right? None of these moves should feel unnatural. So definitely, Coach Dean's taught me similar stuff, but from a Muay Thai angle, right? So look at that. So maybe this is just something, if you got a brother or something, maybe James and Terrence can practice this ad nauseum together. So maybe shall we move a little forward, or should we just watch more of this? This is kind of cool to watch. You can see how this sets you up for so many things. Now, just got to be careful of the face, right? He can still punch you in the face. So you better be quick once you catch him or move out of the range of the punches, right? So it's so funny. The clips we saw before, they didn't slow down. Now here, they're really slowing it down to the point where they want you to almost get bored watching it. This is really cool. Look at that. Using the shovel kick, dude. Using the shovel kick to stop a kick. So the shovel kick can be used in so many ways, including you can use it grappling wise too. If you haven't seen that YouTube short, make sure to check it out on my channel. But look at this. This is so cool. So I am a fan of the shovel kick. And the people who, especially people who are shorter, like it never made sense for me for it to be a long range type of kick, right? So like, okay, what do you use it for, knowing that's more of a short range type of kick? This is, wow, mind blowing, guys. What do you think? So look at that. Now he's using a side kick as an interception / a defensive move. Definitely worth trying. I know Coach Paris does things like that. You have this in Savate, definitely. So, see this? Look at that. So, because whose range is longer? Your side kick, right? The side kick is probably the longest range kick. So, look at that. So now you're using a push kick. Look at that. You're using a push kick as a... I've definitely seen this before. He's kicking at the knee, but I think this works a little better if you aim for the thigh because there's a bigger target there, right? Although the knee would be the closest point to you, but the thigh would be a bigger target. It's just like, I can see how this might miss, but I guess if you miss, you might kick him in the GROIN. Maybe it's okay. But yeah, this is really cool too. Even using the push kick as a defensive destruction interception type of move. And this is your standard boxing. Okay, duck, right? Just move your head out of the way, clean, duck. Jerry from Fight Commentary Breakdowns here. I have a lot more of these tutorials that I can slowly translate for you guys. By the way, you're wondering why I'm carrying a blanket. If you record like this under the mic, it reduces a lot of the sounds. So I hope the sound was even better in this video, but that's why I have a blanket with me. So anyways, if you like this type of video, make sure to press like. Make sure to let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. And if you try any of these moves, send me some clips. I had a viewer, when I did some Jet Li stuff, he sent me some of the stuff he picked up from Jet Li, so I want to see more of that from you guys, okay? Make sure to share this. Share this in any Kung Fu Sanda group, whatever, okay? Talk to you guys soon. I look forward to hearing from you guys.